Oh, yeah. Before the music starts again, how we all doing? Welcome to Kev's new safe space where we can all be ourselves. Where men are men and sheep are not safe. I'm only joking, folks. Welcome back to another coffee break slash KBS Safe Space live stream. It's where we chill out. It's where we all congregate. It's where we can have fun. We don't get too serious on this stream. So it's just, don't be expecting too much. You don't get the highly polished KBS article that you get on Truth Frequency Radio. No. This is my alter self. This is clone Kev. This is the boisterous Kev. It's the very toxic male Kev. I'm only joking, folks. It's a safe space, right? And probably the unsafest space in the world. When did safe spaces even start to become a bloody thing? What was that all about? A safe space? I don't know. I remember the first time I heard that, people grown adults, or at least university-age adults, so terrified of the real world that they need to retreat into a padded area where there's finger paints and Play-Doh and all that good stuff that's usually reserved for people under the age of 3. But hey, we're living in a world now where probably the average 18-year-old, or not the average 18-year-old, but the SJW 18-year-old has probably less nous about them than your average 3-year-old who's been brought up by real parents the hard way, right? I'm only joking, folks. How y'all doing? See Polly Nation in there. I want to ask Polly, is my audio okay, dude? There's something really going up with it and going wrong with this audio board of mine. And no, folks, that's not some kind of setup for a GoFundMe page for new audio kit or nothing like that. I don't roll like that shit, okay? I'm just letting you know. So, Polly, I'm going to wait for you to tell me we're all good to go. I'm going to have my little cup of tea here. I've got DJ B2 in there. Safe spaces are where the gender confused can meet up and insert crayons into the not-so-shiny place. Polly, thank you, sir. Thank you. You see, we're all one happy family at the KBS stream, right? I tell you what, folks, I am absolutely shattered today because I came off last night's KBS show with Scotty Lopez and Johnny Whistles. How much do you love those guys? Because I do. I think they're absolutely fantastic. And I played Scrabble with my mum as usual. That's the nightly ritual. And I sound like I complain and I wind her up all the time, but I love it. It's one of the joys of the internet. We always talk about the bad things with technology. There are good stuff as well, right? You live a couple 100 miles from your family and things. You can still stay in constant touch. You can see each other. You can play games like Scrabble. And that was maybe about 1 o'clock in the morning I started that. And I knew I had to have a quick conversation with my good friend Nancy. And do you know what time I got to bed? Bearing in mind, I ended up starting to talk to Nancy maybe about 2 a.m. in the morning. Quick conversation, right? What do you think? 3, 4, 5? No. About 6:30 I finally got to sleep at, and that's not a complaint, right? That was really kind of cool. We sorted the world, myself and Nancy. When you woke up today, probably everything seemed all love and light and unicorns flying and all that kind of good stuff because we put the worlds to right, or the world to rights. How do you say that? But no, point being, if I look like I've got puffy eyes and I need to sleep, I probably do. But that's okay because I really love being here with all of you folks. This is where we get to hang out. This is where we can be ourselves. This is where free speech definitely is exercised in the chat room. And thanks to the wonderful, brilliant mods that we all have, it really is becoming a free speech zone to a certain extent. Don't ever go at my family. Don't ever go at me, or there's a chance I'll get triggered. Yeah, even Kev gets triggered in this day and age. It's a thing now, right? Everyone gets triggered. That's why you get safe spaces, stuff like that. I don't know what I'm talking about, but we've got lots to get into today. But you know me. You know how the safe space, the coffee break KBS show rolls. Can't do anything without going into the chat room. And we've got the guy from yesterday. Remember I was showing all like the horrendously scary sculptures, like the Pennywise from, what you call it? It. I got it there. What do you call it? It's it, right? We had the Walking Dead inspired stuff, all that kind of good thing. Well, it turned out that somehow, by hook or by crook, obviously an error. It was definitely not deliberate, but Jonathan had found himself on the naughty step in the Kev Baker Show channel. But I found him. I took him off the naughty step. I apologise profusely. He's one of our newest members here on the channel. And if you would like to be a member on the channel, and I would love you to be a member, it helps keep me going. But not only that, right, we've got this fun thing we play here. And you'll see people who have got their names in green. They've got a whole set of emojis that if you tried to post an emoji, you might not see. You'll be thinking, how the hell do they have like Elon Musk? They've got Scotty Lopez as Shrek. They've got Kev's future wife, AOC. I'm only joking. She wishes. There's a whole heap of things in there. We've even got Popeye. We've got Braveheart. I can't even remember half of the emojis we've got, but all you have to do is become a member of the channel. Now, I believe it's only something like $5 a month. But if you don't want to, that's okay. And maybe you want to support the stream some other way. There's links in the description. We've got PayPal, which is my preferred option. Cuts out the Google middleman. Just saying, if you want to make sure I get all of your donation and you're not like funding a corporation, and I'll probably get demonetized just for saying that, right? There's a PayPal link in the description. And of course, if you go for the super chat, that's when we have Brian. I'm not happy that we've got Brian, the dude AI, reading out all of the super chats. I really preferred the Australian chick. She was cool. Really, really cool. But let me go into the chat room, see who's kicking about in there. There's another member, Jules Gilchrist. Very Scottish name, that. Don't know where you're from. We've got Simon Webb in there. We have got Running Turtle. We have the Map Buddy, Polynation. Polynation, somebody that I've really come to like in an electronic way. I know I can rely on Polly to give me stimulating comments. Don't agree with all of them, but they're always thought-provoking, always give me something to think about. But more than that, he kind of acts as my cover out there. I can't hear how this sounds when it goes out live sometimes, okay? So I rely on all of you people out there to keep me right. So we've got Ace. That's probably one of the most complimentary comments that's ever turned up in my chat room here. Kev is the Scottish Art Bell. You know, I don't try to imitate anyone else. I just try to be the very best version of me, which probably isn't very good at the best of times. But Art Bell, isn't he like the legend? You know, wasn't he just absolutely amazing? And of course, we've still got Coast to Coast with George Norrie and things like that. And I still recommend, you know, if you're just new coming to the kind of alternative scene, that sounds like it should be like have a flag of its own or something, right? I'm only joking. But if you're into the woo, into the paranormal, into the X-File type stuff, I think Coast to Coast is one of the best places to go, followed by our very own Truth Frequency Radio, and of course, my personal fave out there, Clyde Lewis at Ground Zero. So, Stephanie Negroni in there. We've got Brassneck in there. Just a guy. How you doing, Shannon? Absolutely love you. And we had Jonathan Fuller a moment ago talking about the story about goo on the moon. Covered that on Freaky Friday, dude. But tonight's guest, and that's where we're going to start today, okay? Tonight's guest, we'll get some of the admin out the way before we really start getting into some of the fun and games. And boy, oh boy, have I got some fun and games today. We had a good laugh yesterday. We're going to follow up with an even heartier laugh today. So tonight on the show, I have got, not the Kev Baker Show YouTube channel, I have got Brendan Drackler. Now, Brendan is somebody that's been on my show multiple times. He is an astrophysics PhD student at the Rochester Institute of Technology, all the way across there in the glorious United States of America. And he is one of the top science podcasts on iTunes download store. And he covers a whole host of things. But tonight we're going to be talking about that goo. You know, the Chinese rover on the far side of the moon. They found some mysterious goo. And anytime goo comes into the conversation, especially on the Kev Baker Show, it's like word association, right? Goo, black goo. Now, I don't know if it's black goo or not, but tonight I'll be talking to Brendan about that. No doubt we're going to trigger people as well, because you know how I like to bring on guests that look at all sides of the debate. And Brendan's going to be coming on and talking to us about some of the misheld conceptions to do with climate change. He'll be getting into some of the climate change science as well. And remember, folks, we like to listen to everyone's point of view. And we're the first ones to sit here and tut and poo-poo anytime we hear any official source saying those two words, climate change. Well, tonight we're going to get Brendan's point of view. We're going to get a bona fide scientist point of view on just what's going on with the climate on the planet. Climate's always been changing. What does that mean? And what does it mean for us? And what does it mean for this crazier future that we're moving into, right? So black goo may come into it tonight. It may well come into it. You just never know. I'll ask Brendan if he's ever heard about the black goo. And if you do me one favour, please check out his website, thestateoftheuniverse.com. That's thestateoftheuniverse.com. You can see it up there in the top left-hand corner. Okay, so that's a bit of the admin out of the way. Let me come back to the main screen now. Just a little drink of tea. You see, that's why I couldn't call it the coffee break today. I'm drinking tea, so... Half Q, my friend Half Q, all the way from Wales. Starting to build up a good Welsh audience as well. And Half Q, I don't know if you were here yesterday, but I was waxing lyrical about your country. You know, when I first went to Wales, wasn't a big fan, but that's because I had to sleep in like a shell scrape in a sleeping bag. It was pissing rain. I was halfway up the Brecon Beacons. I knew I was going to be there for a week. And I was in the military, right? Lots of training ground in Wales. But I learned to appreciate the fact that, much like Scotland, Wales is an absolutely beautiful country. And as with anywhere else, you know, no country is full of perfect people. But the people from Wales, I find, they're a bit like us Scots. You know, that they've been oppressed by Westminster over the years. So we do share some ties, I feel. And there was quite a Welsh contingent in here yesterday. It was kind of cool. Now let's see who else has turned up in the chat room. I see, well, Hannah Lee had said something, but I can't see it now because I think she removed it. So a big shout out to Hannah Lee. We've got Mr. Knight in there, Running Turtle. We also have Scowling Wolf. I like that. Another Welsh person. Awesome. Awesome stuff. It's like, am I getting like invaded by the Welsh here? Should I start playing Tom Jones when we come onto the show or something? Maybe the women will start throwing their pants at me or something, right? Because it is an unsafe zone after all. You never know. Yeah, Kev rolls a bit different on this stream. Anything goes. Just anything. Get ready. You never know what's going to come out of this mouth of mine. It's a bit naughty at times. It's a bit risky. It's definitely not algorithm friendly. I think that's what appeals to all of you crazies out there. Remember, people in Scotland, when they call you crazy, it's usually one of the most endearing terms that you can have thrust upon you. It means you're a bit of a character and the kind of person that us Scots would probably want to go for a pint with. Seen somebody earlier on saying he was chilling out. He had his jammy Dodgers ready, a whole host of other biscuits, but no Jaffa cakes. And then I found out that the Jaffa cakes are struggling because of climate change. You know, what did the humble Jaffa cake ever do to anyone, eh? Eh? What's that all about? Everyone loves Jaffa cakes, right? Talking absolute mince, but that's the way it goes on these streams. We've got Leanne Reish in there. I hope I pronounced that right. Chris Tanner. Another half Welshman. What the hell's going on? And then Mr. Knight said he had volcanoes in 1697, there was volcanoes going off simultaneously around the planet. Each volcano produces enough carbon dioxide for all the nations on the world for 10,000 years that our society can put up. There you go. You see, there's people in the chat room way more intelligent than I am. I fear the day that you lot in the chat room decide to start your own YouTube channels because yous are going to go skyrocketing way past me. I mean, let's face it, anyone can do better than this, right? So Fred, and I was speaking to Fred earlier, great to finally catch up with you, Fred, and I apologise for taking so long to get back to you. You know, doing the shows during the week, I usually prepare for them. Now I've got this extra show. It's not a show, is it? It's just hanging out. But I also get bombarded with heaps of stuff as well. And that's not a complaint, folks. It's par for the course, and I enjoy that. But sometimes I need to wait till the weekend until I can take care of, like, the admin side of things. You know, maybe some people don't realize this out there, but I'm literally just one man in the corner of a room. I don't have some production team. I don't have people that can like share things out. That's what I rely on all of you people to do out there, okay? So just a guy sent me something there. I'll click that link. I'll save it. I'm not even going to look at it, Justa, okay? Because that's what I do on these streams. I get links. I don't even look at them until we talk about them. See, Garden Revolution is asking what a Jaffa cake is. It's a Jaffa cake. And it's just a little biscuit. It's like a little chocolate biscuit with some orange jam in the middle. Or, yeah, Jaffa cakes are the business. Once you pop one, it's one of those cakes you just have to keep on eating. Why I'm talking about this here. Somebody's talking about CERN. The sun does have something to do with our magnetic field. This week, I think that CERN running. Right, let me stop you there, Mr. Knight. Whoever's told you that CERN is running is misinformed. CERN will not be back on until something like 2023. It's not even on, dude. Not even on. And when it comes to the when it comes to the magnetics at CERN, there's this thing where people think it's going to, like, because it's 100,000 times stronger than the Earth's magnetic field. Yeah, that's technically true. You can go and find that out on CERN's own website. But it's not emitting lines of force out the way. They're all directed into the middle of the tube. And that's what keeps the particles going round in a circle without smashing into the walls. And those particles, picture this, 17-mile ring and one proton. And remember, there's billions of them in packets. Do you know how many times those protons go round that ring in 1 second? 11,400 times. There you go. So yeah, the magnetics, honestly, there's a lot of misinfo and disinfo out there about CERN. Back in the day, before Anthony Patch took me under his wing and taught me lots more about it, used to be a problem when it came to putting misinformation out there. Difference between misinformation and disinformation. Misinformation is mistakenly putting out wrong information. Disinformation is deliberately doing so. And there are more and more people nowadays deliberately doing so. Well, why would they do that, Kev? Because it drives clicks to videos. And clicks can mean cash. And even on non-monetized channels, clicks mean dopamine. We've all been slowly turned into dopamine junkies, folks. All of us. None of us are immune from that, especially if we spend any time on the internet. And they knew what they were doing. They looked at psychological experiments from the past. They looked at the gaming industry. Said, how do we hook people in to coming online more and more? How do we make people go to Facebook more and more? How do we keep them there? How do we keep their attention there? Well, we put likes and shares on there, and what that does is it gives us that, that dopamine squirt. Isn't that nice? Why do you think I don't spend as much time on Facebook anymore? So then, with that out of the way, exactly, there are hundreds of colliders around the world, but none of them of the power of CERN, and none of them with the same lines of magnetic force that we all think could be disrupting things worldwide, okay? And I'll do a show about that again soon. It's been a while since I've talked CERN. I'll do that on the main channel. Well, the main channel? This is the main channel, right? But I'll do it on the show because I genuinely have an interest in science, as everybody here knows. But remember, you see, I got triggered into being almost serious there. This isn't a serious stream. Because today, ladies and gents, do you know what day it is? Do you know what day it is? Seriously, right? Every day is like a national something day, you know? Guess what day it is today. I'm going to wait and see if people can guess what day it is today, but I better not wait too long because you've all got Google at your fingertips, right? And here it is. It is. And get ready for some people out there to be triggered. Why would people be triggered by a day, Kev? Because it's National Pizza Day. Pizza. Yep, National Pizza Day. When did this become a bloody thing, right? And I'm going to click on this here. It might let me read the article. There's a big, oh, come on. Why do you always do this? Just continue. There we go. National Pizza Day. And without going into it too much, you know that this will trigger some people out there. You can't say the word pizza without being deemed a criminal. You can't even dare admit to eating a pizza, or some people will think you're one of the most evil criminals in the world. But who doesn't love pizza? It's Cheese Pizza Day, though, right? So I'm wondering to myself, is there like a pepperoni pizza day? Can't we be inclusive? Can we just call it Pizza Day? Because I find this to be highly discriminatory to other pizzas. I mean, you can picture all the other pizzas, right? You got your farmhouse ones, you got your vegetable ones, and they're all sitting right now in Domino's and places like that going, look, Cheese Pizza Day. What the bloody hell's that all about? You know, these humans are all about inclusivity, but they don't bloody recognise us. What happened to the pepperonis? Free the pepperoni, right? You know, everyone likes maybe anchovies on it. What's your favourite pizza, Anne? Spicy sausage and shoe? Really? You like shoes on your pizza? Oh, I'm getting the shoe. Right. No, well, Anne likes all sorts of pizza. My son, he would eat pizza until it's coming out of his ears. But what happened to all the other pizzas? I am going to start a campaign. I'm going to start a petition. Pizza petition. Don't leave out the other pizzas. Right? You know? This is like kind of, is it like pizzaist? Is it like the pizza version of racism? Is it because those other pizzas have different toppings that it gets discriminated against? Does that make you, like, different from other pizzas? Really? I don't know. So if anyone wants to order me a pizza, right, you can just go to Domino's, and if you've got a pen and a paper, just send it to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue at the Oval Office, right? We'll send some pizza to Trump, shall we? So I never knew that Pizza Day was a thing, folks, but it is. And like I say, before we go into the story, you go and Google it. National Pizza Day, right? Says here, not a fan of anchovies. What's it matter if you're a fan of anchovies? It's not Anchovy Pizza Day. Silly article. Today is the day for you. Thursday, September 5th, 2019 is National Cheese Pizza Day. Not to be confused with National Deep Dish Pizza Day, which is celebrated on April the 15th. Or just National Pizza Day, which is celebrated on February the 9th. On this day, cheese, whether it's mozzarella, cheddar, smoked Gouda, or others, holds the spotlight. If you're looking for a way to celebrate the occasion, click through the slideshow to find out where the readers told us they can get the best pizza around, according to our Best of the Capital Region 2019 poll. For more food and restaurant news around the capital region, sign up for our table topping newsletter. So tell me, folks, I'm just a daft Brit. Has Pizza Day always been a thing? Am I just stupid? I'm just going to share the link to some people just now. Hang on, I've got one of my subscribers in there. I've got Billy Joe. She's a mod. She'll probably come over. Better send it to my mum or she might get triggered. I'll send it to Joe Joseph. There we go. He might head on over. He'll keep you all on your toes in the chat room, right? Who else can I send this to? Stand by, folks. Stand by. Where's Scotty? We'll send it to Scotty as well. Yep, Scotty, take a load of this. Where is he? There he is. We'll even send it to the other Scotty, my big mate in Glasgow. We'll give that to him. And I want to know, folks, you knew it was Pizza Day? I didn't know it was Pizza Day, but it is. Like I say, it's a thing. So let's dive back into the chat room. Let's get a little bit of music on in the background so we can, a bit of ambience, while we eat our pizza. Like that. That's not too loud, right? No, that's nice and quiet, yeah. Pizza Day's been around for a while, says Valiant Stallion. There you go. See, told you. Daft Brit. Mr. Stonley says, to be legally called a pizza. I love it. There's a legal definition of a pizza. When did the world get this fucking mad? Do you know what I mean? It must have 3 ingredients: dough, tomato sauce, and cheese. So why can't it be like dough, tomato, and cheese Pizza Day? Can't we just have one Pizza Day where all pizza lovers around the world can drop their differences. They can drop their different belief systems, those really radical pepperoni eaters on that side and the anchovy mob on that side, always at war with each other, right? Just put the knives and forks down. Who eats pizza with a knife and fork? Sometimes I do. That's a really posh way to eat it. But if we could just all come together and eat pizza just for one day, imagine how better the world would be. Somebody's wanting walnut sauce on their pizza. Dude, Matthew, today, since it's pizza day, you can have walnut sauce, sir. You can have almond sauce. You can have any kind of bloody sauce you want, because that's the kind of guy I am, right? Come along to Kev's Conspiracy Cafe and we'll have pizza free for everyone. Now, if you want to come to Kev's Conspiracy Cafe, you may have to buy me Kev's Conspiracy Cafe to start with, but that's okay. I'll be there flipping my pizzas, bringing the world together, and we'll all sing Kumbaya over a lovely cheese pizza, right? And if it doesn't work this September the 5th, we can always wait till April 15th next year, right? Because it's another pizza day. That's Deep Pan Pizza Day. Who knew? Who knew? So what's the chat room saying? Pizza Day used to be once a month in school. I'm trying to think if I ever got pizza things. Kev, look at the alien face ridges. Not talking about alien face ridges today. Eyes to eye or eyes to see. Not today. We might if we've got time at the end. We've got a few funny things to get into yet. That alien face. Both Nancy's son, Anne, they don't see an alien. They see an ancient Chinese stroke Japanese stroke Asian, like samurai warrior. I'll try and dig up the article for another stream another day. Maybe tomorrow we'll get in the mood for Freaky Friday with some alien face. Who knows? Who knows, folks? I know Brad Olson, when I was talking to him, he's already been to Antarctica. And I think he was trying to get down there again. And I imagine, exactly, Matthew, even the emoji for pizza has pepperoni on it. Not very inclusive, is it? Doesn't count for cheese pizza day. But he's trying to get back down there. And with it being such a restricted location, with it being basically the most remote part on the earth, will we ever learn what the alien face is all about? And I imagine if it is anything to see there, or if there is anything to see there, and it is of any archaeological significance, and again, I can't tell you if it is. I've only seen what you've seen on Google Earth, folks. But I think the one thing that might confirm it is if we go back, maybe today or in a couple of weeks, and you find that it's all been blurred out. You got one of those Google black boxes over it, and you can't see it anymore. That would be interesting, right? Because that in itself would spark more conspiracies, and I'd be right at the front of it. But listen, maybe after you've had your cheese pizza, maybe you want to go for a night out. Maybe some of you toxic guys out there feeling a bit frisky after getting it on over the pizzas, and you think, well, where can we go? Can we go for a lap dance? Well, let's go for a lap dance, and I'm inclusive. Maybe you ladies in the chat want to go for the lap dance as well, right? Well, how about a lap dance with a difference? The kind of lap dance that you're only going to hear about on the Kev Baker show, because there's a new lap dancing bar out there. Oh, yeah. It's not me lap dancing. I know all you ladies would love to see Kev lap dancing, but not today. Not today. But you can see robot pole dancers. Really? This is a thing now? It is. And it was my good friend Alistair Mackenzie that sent me this, right? And it's coming from Sky News, or as I call it, Lie News. But robot pole dancers to debut at a French nightclub. Why does it not surprise me that that's happening in France, right? Well, what do you mean, Kev? What you kind of saying about France? Nothing. I'm just saying it doesn't surprise me it's starting there, right? I wouldn't want to offend the French. Deary me. You don't want to mess with people that eat, like, frogs' legs and stuff like that. Those people can handle themselves, trust me. So it says here, robots and artificial intelligence has long been touted as a replacement for humans carrying out jobs around the world. This is one job that I think is safe until they get robots that really, really look like humans I don't think, I mean, imagine sitting there, right? Like, oh, a private dance. Oh, man, lying back and, oh, look at the CCTV cameras on that thing. Look at them wibbling about, right? Even Anne's sitting looking, what are you talking about? I know, it's bizarre, but that's the world we live in. So I prefer big CCTV cameras, just saying. Not that I'm sizist or anything. But it says here, robots are rarely thought of as pole dancers. There's a reason for that. Because they're bloody robots for a start. But that's exactly what's happening in Nantes. 2 robot dancers wearing high heels and topped with a CCTV camera for a head will debut in the SC Club in the French city to celebrate its 5th anniversary. I'm sorry, I need the clown music for this. Where's my clown music? There we go, there's the clown music. That's apt for us, right? So it says here, will debut in the SC Club in the French city to celebrate its 5th anniversary next week. Imagine that, eh? They're all sitting around, they're thinking, 5 years old. What do we do? Do we like fly in some of like the most hot, attractive, babylicious strippers from maybe, I don't know, America, Australia, Wales, I don't know, Scotland? Don't get any in Scotland. But you know what I'm saying, right? But some genius was sitting there going, no, I've got it. Let's make a robot. We'll give it like big CCTV cameras and a CCTV camera head, right? And I know, folks, it doesn't have 2 CCTV cameras, but you know what I'm referring to, right? And we'll shove some high heels on it. We'll get some lipstick painted on the camera. And I bet you they've drawn on the most outrageous eyebrows on the camera as well, right? Because that seems to be a thing these days. Why women play with their eyebrows so much, I don't know. Top tip, ladies. No man in the world has ever walked down the street and said to his friend, oh, check out the eyebrows on that one. I'm just saying, it's a top music. Fred Doe's saying, what music? It's a clown music. Can you not hear my clown music? I know it's not very, like, robot clown, but... Oh, can you imagine that? Is that going to be a new thing? If you, like, shoved, like, a clown wig on that, that'd be the only clown I wasn't scared of, right? Robot clowns, is that going to be a thing? I don't know. So it says here, the bots were the brainchild. How can you call something this a brainchild? Of British artist Giles Walker, who has overlaid their metal bodies with parts from plastic mannequins, referring to their CCTV camera heads. Let's turn that off there. CCTV. He said the robots aim to, quote, play with the notion of voyeurism, posing the question of who has the power between the voyeur and the observed person. Can I just, like, pause for a minute? I've been in lap dancing establishments in the past. At no point have I thought to myself, who is the power between the voyeur and the observer or the observed person? Never in the day of man. It's like women's eyebrows. Dudes never notice them. No dude in the world has ever thought that when he's getting a lap dance, right? He's never thought, who's getting watched here? Is it me or is it the lap dancer? No, Matthew, Kev isn't. Maybe that's the problem. Kev has not been stoned in how long, Anne? About a week? This is the real Kev. This is totally nothing. No substances, only tea, a bit of a buzz, bit of adrenaline from like doing the stream. You always get a bit of adrenaline. Obviously, I'm a dopamine junkie because all YouTubers have to be a dopamine junkie, right? So maybe I'm just kind of binging out on dopamine, or perhaps I had far too many pizzas before today's show. Who knows? But I don't know if I'm getting tempted yet. Anyone getting tempted into a robot lap dance yet? I don't think I'm selling this, right? I don't think they'll be giving me a job as like a promoter for this club over in Nantes anytime soon. It says he came up with the concept over a decade ago. This guy's sick. Why did you even think of that? Who sits at home and thinks, how can I spice up the lap dancing world? I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. I've got just the bloody thing. Here it goes, get some CCTV cameras, some mannequins. Girls, if you ever go home, or if you ever go on a date with a guy and he takes you home and you're like going into his house and you start seeing bits of CCTV cameras and mannequins on the floor, my top tip, run. Just run. Rape alarm out and run. Something wrong with these people, okay? That says, despite the rise of robots or robot workforces, club owner Laurent Roux, he sounds like the owner of a lap dancing bar, doesn't he? Said the new members of staff, they're not members of staff, they're robots, will replace the 10 human, get that right, will not replace the 10 human dancers who currently perform there. Instead saying it was just a way of honouring technology. Okay, sure, I bet your clientele are going to be really happy when they're all sitting there with their glass of wine, their frog's leg or whatever the bloody hell they eat in France, and out comes bimbling out some robotic thing, you know? Wally comes out and takes off a fucking cape. I don't know, man. Oh, if I'm in Australia, may I just bleep that out? I don't want to be getting the jail for any Australians out there. Don't want to be offending anyone in public spaces. Don't play my show anywhere in public if you're in Australia. I'm a bad, bad man. I use those bad, naughty, naughty words that triggered Armand yesterday. So somebody in the chat room says, the best lap dance of my life in Edinburgh with 2 girls at once. No one needs robots. Support the real girls, haha. And that comes from somebody called, where is it? That was a good name. Empyrean. I've never had a lap dance in Edinburgh. I had one in Glasgow. Couldn't afford 2 at once. I would have loved 2 at once. Wouldn't have gone down the robot route, right? Because, well, I can tell you right now, if myself and my mates, the night we were in the lap dancing club, if we had been waiting there for some gorgeous lady to emerge, you know, to woo us with her things, and Wally had walked out, I'd have been pretty pissed. In fact, I might have gone pretty tonto. I don't know. It's just a thought. I've never really thought about it, but I am now. Oh, she sneaked into the chat room. One of our top mods, Kristen, is in there. And Billy Joe. Billy Joe wants a robot lap dance. You see this, folks? This is why, you know, there's something for everybody out there. Never judge. Never judge. Maybe I'm discriminating against people with that technological kink. Who knows? Maybe they like to get love bites. BYTS from the lap dancer. I know. It was poor, but it's the best you can do when I'm flying solo, right? I'm doing it all off the cuff here. This is ridiculous, but he said, for us, it's a wink, a homage in a way to robotics. We need something human, warmth, physical contact. And this is really putting together opposites. He added, to each his own. This is the kind of guy you really don't want to be going home with after the end of the night. You don't. Ladies, avoid this one. It says a dancer at the club known as Lexi agreed that the future is human at the venue, saying, they won't really change our sector. They won't replace us. You know, I think I have now come across the first ever job, or the first job that really will never be replaced by robots. Even when they get them looking so lifelike, it's still not going to be what people going into a lap dancing establishment looks for. Trust me, ladies. Trust me, guys. And the guys out there know what I'm talking about, right? We ain't ever going to swap those lovely, beautiful, lovely smelling, gorgeous, maternal, you know, divine feminines that are real humans for bits of robot. A couple of really wibbly-jibbly CCTV cameras, you know, maybe there'll be facial recognition on them. They'll remember you for the next time you come in. I don't know. I'm going too far now, right? But here we go. It says, we're not in a vulgar job. And I don't, by the way, that, on a serious note, I don't think it's a vulgar job. I think the girls that do work in this, you know, I know that there's some really seedy establishments out there, and some of them are probably better than others. But I certainly don't look at lap dancing as a degrading or demeaning job. I see it as a form of art. It's dancing, right? And I know some people out there will be thinking, oh, no, it's disgusting, Kev. Well, each to their own, you know, and if nobody's getting hurt and it's a really nice establishment and the girls are well looked after and the girls are getting paid. And hey, what's wrong with having guys dancing as well? You get a lot of couples. going to lap dancing places. I've seen a couple in there the time we went. So maybe we should have guys with the Jubilee bits out as well, right? I'd be up for a bit of that. Don't think Anne would let me, but that's another story. So let's go back to the main screen. Let's get away from the robo dancers. This is going to be one of those crazy streams again. It's going to be one of them. I can tell it. Because you think that's the most ridiculous story I've got today? I don't roll like that. You know I don't roll like that. But what I'm going to do is, because my cup of tea has got cold, because you people have kept me talking far too long, I'm going to shove on one of our new tunes today, and I'll be right back in 2 minutes, okay? Can you give me 2 minutes? Can I ask you that? Is that okay? And when I come back, I'll get the thoughts from the chat room before we go into even more stories. I've got stupid criminals. I've got stupid Scotsmen. I've also got an update on Area 51 and what lurks beneath the surface of Loch Ness. And no, it's not me. I'm not the Loch Ness Monster. Some say I have the Loch Ness Monster, but that's a matter of opinion. But we will be back after these short and crazy tunes. Take a listen to this. I'll be back soon, folks. There we go. Just like that. One pizza and one robot lap dance later. I'm back, folks. I'm back. I feel a spent force. You know, how was that pizza and the robot lap dance for you? Pretty good, right? And new music, new tunes. You liking it? Hopefully. I just burnt my face off. But let's see what the chat room is saying. Polynation, Kev should have his own music. I'll work on that. I love it. I love it. Armand, I think he likes the music. Who knows? Polly sounds good. Meaning audible. Yep. It's not the worst, says Polly. Stimulate. How you doing, man? You know the bot was cheating if you open the service panel and a bunch of different sizes of nuts fall out. Boom! I like it. Told you yesterday I spotted Polly's comedy genius. And we have also got the man, Armand, who stole the show yesterday. That was Armand's stream yesterday. If you go and watch or rewatch yesterday's stream, don't listen to a word I say. Watch Armand in the live chat and things going up and down. Telling you, man, buddy, you absolutely nailed it yesterday. You truly, truly did. Did. Who knows? Brassneck says, I've had a hard day. Not only with the toilet not flush, but I've also been banned from B&Q. Whoa. Dude, how did you get banned from B&Q? B&Q, like, I used to work in a retail park where there was a B&Q. I tell you, you could probably violate one of the robots in there and they wouldn't ban you. So what did you do, dude? Did you get angry? Did you get triggered by one of their staff? Is that what it was? Come on, tell us. Share. Nobody will see here. It's not like this will get seen by like thousands of people once it's archived and up on the channel or anything. We're all friends here, you know? Problem shared is a problem halved and solved, right? Where are we now? We have got DJB2. Spoiler, you can eat what is in Loch Ness jellied. That'll do me. Absolutely. Although I've seen some of the stuff that they throw in Loch Ness. I don't know if it's a good idea to be eating shit out of there, dude. Not good. I've done some very dubious things into Loch Ness. Let's just say that. And I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever eaten a fish out of Loch Ness. I probably have. It says, Armand, I've got a few fellows on D Live for playing yesterday's show. Sent them over here. Mind everyone share our Kev on your anti-social media. Thank you so much, brother. Honestly. We got Maximus in there. He's laughing away at himself. Matt Buddy, he's liking the tunes. Matt Buddy was the guy who had all the biscuits and he had discriminated against my personal favourite, the Jaffa cake. Tut. You know, so that's us getting every other pizza apart from cheese pizza. It's been every other pizza has been left out. The cheese pizza, it's like having its National Cheese Pizza Day. And Matt there, he's like offending all these other biscuits apart from Jammy Dodgers. And Jammy Dodgers are all I can remember he had. So, listen, we're going to move on now, because if not, we're going to be into one of these giant streams and I'm going to be rushing about for tonight's show. And like I say, it gets steadily worse as we continue. And we do like to take a look at some of the dumber criminals out there, right? It's always fun. This one maybe isn't one of the worst dumb criminals I've ever heard about. And Jules Gilchrist, we've got another comedian in there. Liking it, Jules. Did you hear the one about the two peanuts that walked into a bar? One was assaulted. Boom. We like it. Okay. Cheese pizza supremacism. Absolutely. Jaffa cake, not biscuit. Exactly. Audio lover. And anyone outside of the UK will be thinking, what the hell are they talking about? Jaffa cakes. Absolutely. Is it a cake? Is it a biscuit? It's a bloody cake. It says it on the packet, right? Nancy! Now my day is complete. And look, she's there. She's back. She made it out her bed. I just about made it out my bed, Nancy. You've missed so much today. Did you know, Nancy? First up, you know, I'll catch people up that have just joined the stream. First up, it's National Cheese Pizza Day. And as I say, that's not very inclusive of all the other pizzas out there. I think we should all the different pizza groups should come together just for one day, and all of our problems, we could just forget about them, right? And we could just eat pizza. We came to discover there's various pizza days. We've got deep pan pizza day. We've got anchovy pizza day. It's crazy stuff. And then, you know how I like the ladies? Well, not so much anymore, because now we're getting robot pole dancers. A couple of nice little CCTV cameras here and there, you know. Some like their CCTV cameras big. Some people like small CCTV cameras. Each to their own, I say. And then we come on to my next story. Like I say, we're going to steadily get dumber now as we go down. Dumbest criminals. Now, last week on the stream, we all had a real laugh and a bit of fun with the naked criminal, right? He was running about his juggly bits and he was jumping on people and he was getting his man junk in people's faces. And even the police dog took a look at him and ran the other way. It was like something out of Benny Hill. Now, this guy isn't quite as funny, but he's the best I could come up with at short notice today, okay? So, what's the dumb criminal that Kev's got for you today? Like, you see, before I bring this headline up, it's like almost criminal eugenics, right? You know, you've got your dumb criminals at one end of the scale, and then you've got your really mastermind criminals at the other end. And, you know, it's survival of the fittest, right? And the criminal gene pool is a way of sorting things out. And this guy falls into that category, okay? Because a cat burglar, and no, he wasn't stealing cats, folks. I know some people might be, like, mistaken by that. But a cat burglar caught after leaving DNA evidence at a robbery after biting into a fish cake. Yes, not content that he was in there robbing somewhere. And remember, I've not read this story yet. I don't read them. I just get the headlines. I refuse to look before I share them with you. We all get that raw initial reaction, right? But come on, really? You're in the middle of a robbery and you start to feel a little bit peckish and you think, nah, he probably had gloves on too, so he didn't leave any fingerprints. And then he goes and leaves his smelly DNA all over the crime scene because he couldn't resist a fish cake. Or was it because he might actually be half man, half cat? We know cats like fish, right? And he does call himself a cat burglar, or he's described that way. So let's take a look at what's happening here. And yes, he comes from my island. He's from here in the UK. I'm not picking on the Americans this time, where usually you see the world's dumbest criminals. It says here a burglar who crawled through a cat flap was tracked by police after he took a bite out of a homeowner's fish cake. Dude, if you can climb through a cat trap, you should be in the circus. You should be like, what's that dude's name? David Copperfield? Harry Houdini? David Blaine? You should be like contorting yourself and making it into some kind of circus act. I'm just saying, it's going to be a lot more lucrative. It's going to be a lot safer. You're not going to get the jail. And like I say, this is how the criminal gene pool takes care of itself. You know, this guy, just utterly ridiculous. Forgot about the fact that, you know, slabbering all over a cheesecake, because you know how cat burglars do that. They start powering and things like that, and they just can't resist the cheesecake or the fish cake in the corner. He left his DNA there, or at least that's what I think. Says Jan Gina, right? Jan Gina. The guy's got a really strange female name, but that's cool. Again, criminal gene pool eugenics, right? Forced his way into the home in Kent and stole wine, clothes, a handbag, and bank cards, but left behind half a fish cake with traces of DNA. A few days later, Gina, or Gina, I don't know what we'll call him, Puss Puss, was busted by police hiding in a wardrobe in a disused building in Folkestone, Kent, with 5 bags of cannabis in his backpack and items stolen from the burglary. They had to throw the cannabis in there, right? You know, any excuse to, like, demonize the pesky cannabis. So, well, that's the root of all this guy's problems. Next, they'll be telling us we can't legalize weed and cannabis in the UK, Kev, because it has a tendency to make people think they're cats. Yes, we'll have this, like, epidemic of people breaking in through cat flaps and whiskers getting caught here, there, and everywhere. But it says, despite initially denying the charges by claiming he did not like fish, Gina, Puss Puss, eventually pleaded guilty to the May raid. Look at that. Isn't that the face of guilt? Doesn't that look like the guy who just finished half the last fish cake? It does, doesn't it? He does. He looks like the kind of character, man. He was sentenced to 2 years and 4 months in prison at Canterbury Crown Court on Wednesday, but it doesn't matter, right? Because he's got 9 lives. He's Gina, Puss Puss. He's a cat burglar. He doesn't care. He's going to, like, contort himself and climb. Have you ever seen a cat getting through a fence? How do you keep a cat burglar in jail? Especially one that's like good enough to start climbing through like cat flaps and things like that. I don't know. Maybe they'll need to send them to that MCC over in Manhattan. You know, like they keep such a good watch on everyone over there, right? Right? Like how I done that. I can sneak things into the stream without the algorithm figuring me out. You know it. You know it. So it says here, DC Beth Gumley. Constable Gumley said, the investigating officer said, Gina, Puss Puss, crept around the property while the victims were inside, asleep and completely unaware, like any good cat does. Cats are kind of creepy, right? Not creepy as in scary, but they can creep around quietly. And it says, luckily, we were able to return the stolen items, and Gina, Puss Puss, has now been imprisoned. Burglary is such an intrusive crime, and the impact on victims is not underestimated. Absolutely. Horrendous. Disgusting animals. Not cats, but cat burglars. This is why we will do everything within our power to seek justice and ensure that those breaking the law are put before the courts. Yes, there we go. So, dumb criminal, I think we can all agree that, if not even a dumb criminal, still a funny one, right? Anyone called Gina, Puss Puss, and I know he's not really called that, but it works, right? I think it works. Maybe I'll go to the chat and you'll think it doesn't work. But that was England. And these two coming up, I can't definitively tell you they're criminals, but they're definitely dumb. And you might think, well, where's Kev going to go to? What country is he picking next? Well, if you can't laugh at your own, you shouldn't laugh at anyone else, right? So I was on Twitter today. Again, I'm looking around for silly things going on, see what's happening. And I found something from my very own Scotland. And by the sounds of it, it could actually be from Smart City Glasgow. And this is where you really get an example of that smart word not really applying to many of the people in Glasgow. Okay? What you're about to watch, I can't really explain. I wish I knew what had really led us up to the point where we're about to see the video. But you're probably wondering, well, what is Kev talking about? Surely it can't be that dumb, right? Remember yesterday's stream and I said, when the hell did the world get this crazy? When in the hell in the world did this become a thing? And when did people get this crazy? It says here, mate, that is what you call effing some strength in that boy's head. And for anyone outside of Scotland, he'd Anne's sitting laughing already. You see, for Anne, she grew up in Glasgow. This isn't dumb. This is like the sort of thing that you pass on your way to and back from the shops. It's just Glasgow, right? And some things, they only happen in Glasgow. I know people say things that happen in Vegas stay in Vegas, but there's some things that will only happen in Glasgow. And they'll go around the world time and time again because we roll differently here. We truly do. Now, you think that's funny what I've told you so far, and she's absolutely in hysterics right now. And it's quite good. That's quite good. Maybe I won't need the robot lap dancer tonight. Maybe I'll get the human one, right? You know, laughter's a good tonic for that. But, right? You haven't seen anything yet. Now, you might not understand the language. Even I struggled to interpret these two. But you don't need to hear what they're saying, really. Because pictures speak a bajillion words.
Recording, see who you are, who you're gone. Don't Spidey, Madrid. And Jihan the Warrior for Postal. Watch this, boys.
Yeah, he's Jihan the Warrior from Postal, an absolute warrior of a man. Look what is about to happen. You guessed it, folks. Take a look at this.
1, 2, 3.
Wallop!
Mate, that is what you call fucking some strength in that boy's head.
Come on, mate. Stop swearing. You'll get me banned in Australia with shit like that. Come on.
There you go, Dom.
Feel like, but fuck it.
You're bleeding? Fuck it, man.
Let's get fucking mad with it, Sam. Let's go.
Let's see it, guys. Watch.
By the way, just to translate for anyone that's not in Glasgow, let's get mad with it means let's go and have a couple of quiet libations and get intoxicated, okay? Let's go and get a little bit drunk, okay? But it gets steadily worse from this point forward.
He's all looking at that. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, you got to the hospital. I'm taking you to the hospital, mate. Tom, you got to the hospital. Fuck my jacket. Shh. Shows the video.
Here, you.
Shows the video.
Where the bit off your fucking stick?
Fuck your stick, I can get tossed away. You need to come in the hospital.
Off?
You bad?
You better go and get...
Is it bad? What bloody outcome did you expect when you let somebody calling himself the warrior from Postle line up a big 4x2 bit of wood and crack it right over your nut? What did you think was going to happen, dude? And then you got to love this bit, right? If I come back a bit, you know, the guy realizes that he's cracked his pal's head open. What's his first thought? Is his first thought, shit, how's my pal? No, it's not his first thought. Listen to his first thought closely.
Shows the video.
Shows the video. He's wanting to get rid of the evidence before any ambulance turns up. Give me the video. Just give me the video, folks. And that, my friends, that's the kind of thing. You won't believe this. You won't believe this, but I am being genuinely truthful here. And people out there, you can, if you're not in Glasgow, you can believe me or not. That's okay. But people in Glasgow will know what I'm talking about. This isn't like a one-off thing. This is the kind of shit you'll see day after day in housing schemes, in the city centre, in parks, all around Glasgow. People acting dumb, obviously alcohol involved, maybe some drugs. But one more time, let's take a look at these absolute geniuses, okay?
Right, I don't see who you are. You're over the gum. Don't Spiden, Madwit. And Jay.
Does he just say his name's Spiden mad with it? I don't know, but it's cool.
And
Right?
the warrior for post to watch this, boys. 1, 2, 3. Mate, that is what you call fucking some strength in that boy's head.
That's what you call some strength in that boy's head. I'm telling you, I don't know. I find it funny. Maybe you find it funny. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But we'll take a look at some of the comments here, because even that gets funny, right? It says, you lot north of the border scare me. And you know, sometimes it scares me up here. It truly does. Effing mental. That's what a generation living on a diet of nothing more than iron brew and deep fried Mars bars will do to you. We tried to warn you. Good point. Diet of methadone, temazepam and Scottish pies. And then we've got some. I like to think that behaviour is out of character, but I fear not. Well, let me tell that tweeter out there that no, that defines them. That was probably one of their better ideas. Says, poor guy clearly isn't all there. You think? He's mad with it. Yeah, that's what Buckfast, a cheap tonic wine in Scotland, will do to you. We also have, that accent is horrific. Really? Really? Do you think my accent's horrific? I don't sound like a Glaswegian right enough, but, you know, I don't think it's horrific. I think it adds to the whole thing. Surely that's abuse. The poor lad isn't all there. Oh, no, they're best mates. You can guarantee. I've seen these type of people before. See, Anson laughing. She knows what I'm talking about. She's growing up with people like this. It's not that they're like something wrong with them. That's just some people in Glasgow. We don't call them like not all there. We call them characters, okay? They're characters. So we come down and Christ, they can't even work a zip. No, that's a good point, actually. I don't know if we even seen that bit towards the end where they're trying to get the jacket off him. Yeah, there it is.
Off?
You bad?
You better go and get that checked out.
Tom, put my jacket in on.
Yeah, two grown men struggling with a zip. I suppose if there was ever going to be two grown men struggling with a zip, it would be those two, right? I don't think we have many kind of comments to go. That's what you call wasting nurses' time, you couple of tossers. The chances are that dude never went anywhere near a hospital. Guarantee that they would have thought about it. They might have waited in casualty for a while. The nurses and the doctors would have rightly said absolute bampots. We'd have left them waiting. And I would imagine that probably they would have wanted to go and get drink before the time they would have been called in the emergency department, you know. And you see, this is what you get from some corners of England, right? They think we're all like that up here. And some English people wonder why they're hated the world round, you know? They used to say the sun never set on the British Empire. You know, the sun never sets in countries around the world that hate the English. And there's a reason for it, right? There is a reason for it. Not all of them. My own personal experience, most English people are absolutely brilliant, just like me and you. But then you get somebody like Wazman. Yeah, and I imagine Wazman, you're a bit of a genius yourself, eh? I can imagine Wazman's the kind of genius that's probably participated in worse activities than this. But I'm just guessing. I'm merely speculating. But again, you know, is this some way of like thinning the herd? Is this like correcting the gene pool when you see people like this doing this? I don't know. I really don't know anymore. But what I'll do is I'll come over to the chat room. We'll see what's happening. Maybe people don't find it funny. I do. I'm a sick dude. What can I say? So we'll go into the chat room and we'll scroll back up because I've obviously been playing that a little while. Somebody says, oh, Half Q, his internet keeps going down. Oh, that's not good, man. That's not good. That pesky Wales. Told you that Wales was a bad place. Half Q. I'm only joking, dude. Hope it sorts out. Nothing worse when you start losing the internet. It says here, Stimulate. Looks like the kind of guy that would finish over the cheesecake. Oh, the fish cake. Why do I keep saying cheesecake? It's because it's National Cheese Pizza Day. That's what it is. I should really... Oh, I missed a stroke there, folks. I could have played the clown music over the top of that. How apt would that have been? You know? We can still watch them in the background. Hang on. I'll just put them over here. There they are. No volume, you know. The Warrior from Postle. So let's dive into the chat room. I think I've scrolled up too far. Oh, Pollination, ha ha ha. Heed, love it. Put the heed on you. Look at the size of the boy's heed. It's like Sputnik. Round. Yeah, pointy in places. Oh my God, I miss Scotland, says Polly. What a maroon. Stupid is as stupid does, says Brett. Totally agree, brother. Totally agree. Turn that down just a little bit. And then we have Pollination is absolutely, he's in stitches. See, I knew somebody out there would love it, right? Fred says, that's how people talk here after they're drunk. I would imagine listening to them, they're already extremely along the way. They look like they've had a liquid breakfast, as we call it here in Scotland. But they've started early, right? Hair of the dog, liquid breakfast. These characters, they know no limits. Trust me. Tony Phillips, he split his heed right open. He did that. He did. Bonnie Scotland, says Armand. Do you miss it up here, Armand? Bet you don't when you watch things like that, right? Everyday stuff up there. Brassneck, you're so right, my friend. Audio lover, this is the UK in general. I'm in southwest England, and it's the same. Audio lover, you know that when I was talking about the English there, I was really talking about that one specific Twitter or tweeter or twatter, as probably would be apt, right? You know, using this as a dig to have a go at the Scots, why can't people just see it as funny, right? If we're all like that, fair dues, but we're not. Half Q, he's losing it. So funny. Why would a mate split your head? Anne, talk to me, Anne. Why is this a thing in Glasgow? Why do you recognise behaviour like this? Two best mates whacking each other with sticks. Why is that a thing? Is it a sign of love? It's the kind of thing that you could only do to a mate and get away with, right? It's drunken bums being mates, and again, you couldn't do this kind of thing to a stranger in the street. And in all fairness, the guy lined himself up for it. He did tell you he was like ready for it. He put his head down. He was a willing participant. What can you say? And it says here, Matt Buddy, strong in the arm and thick in the head. Alan, someone who pinches catfish and that can bake. And Mad Scots, just another wonderful day in the UK. Nancy, my ex, pierced his 4 fingers together with a nail gun. Oh, ricocheted. And the nail joined. Oh, man. Oh, that sounds so painful. The nurses at the hospital asked him why he didn't stop hammering at the first finger. Fantastic. Somebody says care in the community, and that's from the British Reactor. I think these two probably do need that. We have Lothar. Nice name. It's not even funny. I think it's more disturbing. Why the hell would why the hell would even go to Glasgow or Edinburgh in the first place? This will keep tourists away. It won't keep tourists away, dude. It won't. It really won't. You can go into Glasgow and Edinburgh and up in the Highlands and You know, this is just what happens in Glasgow. They don't show this in the tourist brochures. I get that, but I don't think our tourist economy will kind of suffer because of this. Maybe it will. Maybe there'll be like a boycott in this outrage culture we live in now. Maybe. Then our man, no hospital. At least a girl's bra would be beyond time. I don't know where that came from, but that's cool. It fits somehow. Let's see what else is here. British equal true warrior race. It's one way to put it. Stimulate British kryptonite dentistry. Dude, we're afflicted. We're absolutely afflicted. Our DNA is hacked. It's bad code, bad juju. Our DNA. I showed a skeleton of a Pictish warrior yesterday, and he had like 3 teeth in his head, and that's quite good for a Scotsman. Trust me. We'll keep going down here. The British reactor. They hate the English because we are superior. Superior to what, mate? Superior to what? Like, do you have 3 arms and 3 legs? Have you got like fucking 2 heads or something? What the fuck makes you superior to me? Come on, I'm waiting to see this. I'm waiting to see. Oh, what you want now? What makes you so superior? Just before I kick you out my chat room, I'll give you the opportunity to at least give you your last word, you absolute prick. Know what I mean? So, superior. Yeah, sure, mate. Sure. Why do you go and grovel outside Buckingham Palace to your wonderful royal family since you're so superior? My God. Nothing like being so far up yourself. Oh, dearie me, eh? Said like the kind of guy that would enjoy a robot lap dance, honestly. What else is getting said in there? That's why we don't breed with Scots, Kev. You see, this is why the English hate the Scots as well. Let me just let you in on a little secret, right? As a Scotsman down in England, you don't have to be the best looking guy in the room to get all the women. You see, you may think yourself superior in many ways, but I can assure you, absolutely assure you, that the accent of the Scotsman, it's like lubricant to a lady's ears. And in British Reactor, you can be just kidding. That's okay. That's okay. So am I then. That's okay, right? We can both just kid. We can both just laugh and joke. That's okay. But you see, that whole superiority thing, I don't know, dude. That just triggered me. You know me. I don't take no crap on the daytime stream. So I'm glad that we've come back together. We can eat cheese pizza. We can enjoy that robot lap dance. And, yeah, we can make a happy fun time together, right? I'm only joking. But no. Let's see. Chris Tanner, hey, did you see the ancient ruins discovered in Ireland? I think it was due to last year's extreme heat in the UK. Yes. Yes, because it wasn't me that found the story. I think it was Ben Emlyn Jones. I'm pretty sure it was Ben Emlyn Jones came on my show and talked about that. So, Armand, I was going to kick him. It's okay, Armand. We'll come together here. It's all good. He was joking. The capital letters usually means that they're emphasising things, you know, in internet speak, stuff like that. But I've been here for 90 minutes again. You see how this happens? You see how we lose track of time on here? We've got Hod God. He's loving it. What else? Lothar. That was a waste of time standing outside Buckingham Palace where you're not even allowed to touch the fence because you might offend that queen of yours. Lothar, I wish I still had the video, right? But we went down for Bilderberg 2013, and on the way back, we would go, well, we had a little wander around Hyde Park, and we eventually made it to Buckingham Palace, right? And we had turn your caps off, British Reactor. I keep thinking you're shouting at me. That's what it is. British Reactor, you're cool. And, you're English and Scots. That's cool. I think I've got Irish blood in me and a bit of German blood in me. We're kind of like hybrids over here in the UK. But back to the Royal Fence, right? So myself and 2 absolute, you know, the 2 people I was with, they're probably of the same mentality as the 2 guys we just watched hitting each other with sticks. I'm really glad I don't know them anymore. Longest weekend of my life. See how, like, you regret meeting people off the internet sometimes? Those 2 turned out to be like that. But anyway, we got to Buckingham Palace, and we had anonymous masks on, right? So first up, I said, right, take the mask up a bit, guys, because if we start going near the palace with masks on, we're going to get challenged and shit. So we walked up to the fence, and I'm looking there, we're getting our photos taken, and obviously, you know, none of us are fans of the royal family at the time. And then stood getting my photo taken, and one of them says, turn around, take a look what's happening here. And I shit you not, folks, right? We had it on video, and again, it was on one of my older channels that got deleted. 2 armed cops. Yep. MP5s at the ready. Or was it MP3? I can't remember. MP5, I think, at the ready. Loaded. Not cocked, not ready to go, but bullets in, and they were coming up to us at the fence just because we were daring to be there and we turned up with masks on and because we were touching the fence. 2 of them storming over towards us. Yeah, me, ex-squaddy, absolutely shat myself. Ended up walking away. There's a big fountain there, and then we went away for a walk. But yeah, there we are, paying for that reptilian overlord family to stay in Buckingham Palace, and you can't even touch the pesky fence. Go figure. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And at one point, I actually swore an oath to that old German. That's right. She's not English, folks. Well, she might be, I don't know, but her family, they're not English. They just chose the name Windsor because it sounded English. I'm more English than they are, and I'm not even 1% English. But that's the way that's the way it kind of rolled. So yeah, that was my trip to the palace. Crazy, crazy times. If you've ever been to London, you know, because it's like, you got London, you got Washington, you got Rome, 3 real power centres, and then in London, you've got this other City of London thing going on as well, where they've got their own police force. That's where you get the Royal Mail, and that city within the city. You know, if you want to walk into Orwell's 1984, if you want to feel real oppression, real negative energy, for me, out of all the places I've been in the world, I'm a pretty well-travelled guy, that's the creepiest, weirdest place I've been. The architecture's beautiful. London, some of the buildings, absolutely beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But then you notice all the gargoyles and reptilian statues and things looking down on you. Just out of, just not in your direct eyesight, but once you see them, you don't miss them. And weird place. Really, really weird place. So we're coming towards that time where we depart ways, but we're not quite yet, because I've still got a couple of stories to go. And now we're going to get into a little bit of woo. A little bit of woo, right? You know how we like the woo in the safe space here. So, 2 quick stories before I let you great people get back about your day. And see, you know, I'm going to look up and see if the British Revolution or whatever, there he is, British Reactor. I hope you're still in there, dude. We have a laugh and a joke. You have a go at me, I have a go at you back, and then we come together. Happy fun time. $5, me love you long time. Robots, right? Gina, Puss, the cat burglar. We can get him involved as well. Whatever keeps you happy. So then, we come to the woo. And of course, we've been talking a lot. In fact, before I get there, let's have a look at the chat room. No need to ban anyone here. Just whack them over the head and help them undress. That seems to be the order of the day. Absolutely. We've got Hodgod. He is half Cockney, half Scottish. Irresistible, mate. Cockneys, brand new in the army. Absolutely, dude. Got on well with the Cockneys, man. It was more people from, like, the South Coast and, like, Wiltshire. I don't know. It seemed to be, like, north of the Watford Gap. There was definitely a marked change. And then below there, usually, I don't know, something going on with the English down below that part of the kind of world. But like you say, the Cockneys, oh, what great people, man. So funny. So down to earth. Yeah. You know me, I try to love everyone, unless I'm told I'm inferior to somebody right now. That triggers me. So it says here, what's really funny is I'm related to that German queen of yours. Whoa. Oh, whoa. Have we got royalty in the chat room? I'll go and wash my arse. I didn't realise I was going to be visited by royalty today, folks. Hang on a minute. So I think I'm the 45th cousin, and I didn't even like her. Don't like the family. I'm a full Republican. Long live the Canadian Republic. Ah, I love Canada. Last night I was blessed, lucky enough to listen to one of the most beautiful Canadian accents in the world. And no, folks, I'm not getting amorous with Nancy. It was her husband. I was speaking to her husband, and I tell you, people talk about my accent. This cat, I could have listened to him for hours. We were talking about Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones. I was telling him about Frankie Boyle. He was telling me about other comedians. It was great, but that Canadian accent, it's just something else. I love it. Chris Tanner, I forgot to mention I'm related to William Blake. Also, my nan's maiden name was Harris. Cool. Excellent British reactor. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. We're all pals again. And like I say, you have to do a lot to get kicked out of this chat room. So it says here, Fred Doe. Every European is in some way related to the German royals from back then. Very good point. Weapon says, woohoo. Dark Wolf's Den. Great, hey, Kev, great to see you are feeling better. I'm getting there, dude. Thank you very much. Pie and beans is my most comfort food, says Polynation. Chips, says Armand. Neil Bowie. We got all the way to the palace on the Anon March and had a rave 6 years ago there where a lot of us, but then about 100 riot and armed police turned up and turned it into mayhem. Do you know what, Neil? I remember watching all of that on a live stream. I do, because it was at the night of the 1,000 or the million mask march. I'd met some anonymous cats down at Bilderberg, and they tried to get me to go down there for that. They were choking for me to go down. I couldn't get down, but I remember that, and I remember the riot cops as well. Where else? Audio Lover says they live by Rudlow Manor. Lovely part of the country. Brassneck, the best thing about lending someone your time machine is that you get it back immediately. Brilliant. Hard to find black pudding here, but it exists. People are thinking, what the hell's black pudding? Canada's #1 export. Justin Bieber. It's definitely not Justin Trudeau, right? Polynation. Pudding and eggs for breakfast. You make me bloody hungry, guys. Arman says, not in England. When I go to visit Scotland, I head to Paisley. Best chip shops and black pudding. Yous are making me hungry. Okay, so we descended into food talk now. So we're going to go and look at two last stories, two bits of woo. What's happening with the Area 51 stuff? It's back in the news again. Entering Area 51. So let's see what it says here. A competing Area 51 storming event gets local approval. So it says here, it could be ugly or it could be decent. And this whole Area 51 thing, it's still rumbling on, right? Let's see, it probably gives us a date in here. It says that doesn't exactly sound like a vote of confidence, but when it comes to two events that have evolved from the original Storm Area 51, they can't stop us all extravaganza, that's the best one of the members of the county, that's the best one of the members of the county commission responsible for the area around the secret base can say about the thumbs up vote he and his fellow commissioners gave to Alien Stock, the latest name of the original Storm Area 51 event, and also the Storm Area 51 Base Camp, a competing festival in nearby Hico. While these two get the chance to be ugly or decent, local officials denied a permit for Peace Stock 51. Clever name, but what about the aliens? Keep your Area 51 festival straight program here. I'm not going to get into this too much, folks, because this whole Area 51 thing, do you know what it's turned into now? And I wonder if it was always designed to be this in the first place. There's going to be a lot of people making a lot of money out of characters that are going down there, just for whatever reason they're going down. Maybe they want to storm it, maybe they don't. Maybe they just want to be a part of something that's ongoing. I don't know, but I've said it before and I've said it again. You're not going to be storming Area 51. You're not going to be storming any military facility, even one that hasn't got rumoured top secret stuff and national secrets inside the perimeter fence. It's not the brightest idea in the world. It's the kind of thing I would expect people like this to get up to. They would probably like to storm Area 51, right? That's the characters you want to run. That's the front line, right? That's the front line. So, yeah, Area 51. Not too much we can say about that, but I just wanted to bring it up because it was back in the news again. MysteriousUniverse.org. If you're into woo, if you're into strange, it's one of the better websites to go to, folks. But last but not least, let me take you all the way back to my home up in the Highlands of Scotland. Yeah, you see, I'm not of that DNA pool that comes from Glasgow here. You see, I not that I have anything against the Glaswegian DNA pool, but up in the Highlands, we roll a little differently. We certainly don't let our mates crack us over the head with sticks and things. Last story. How many Loch Ness Monster sightings have there been, and is there any evidence? So let me ask all of you out there, what do you think of the Loch Ness Monster? Honestly, I want your honest opinion. Doesn't care. I don't mind if you don't believe in it. I just want your own honest opinion, right? Shove on a bit of tunes while you're thinking about that. There's some tunes on. Nessie, real, not real. Paranormal. Supernatural. A beastie that maybe only drunk Scotsmen see. Portal to other dimensions. What do you think? I need to wait for the delay I get. There's a delay, okay? So let's have a look. Alistair Crowley started the... Ooh, let me turn that down a little bit. Alistair Crowley started the Golden Dawn in Weston Supermare in a pub called the Pig and Truffle. Cool. I didn't know that. So, Stimulate says, if not real, then at least possible. We discover new stuff every day. I like that, dude. Come back up. Somebody says if they had a DeLorean, I'd probably only drive it from time to time. Holy hell, man. That's good. I like that. Really like that. T from you, not necessarity. I like it. Necessarily. I like it. Like it. If Johnny whistles something about with a remote control, that's why we never see him. Johnny Whistles had a remote controlled Nessie. You know he'd be winding the tourists up, right? Honestly, give me 2 seconds, folks. Just need to grab something. I'll be right back. I'll only be 2 seconds, honestly. Give you enough time to think about your Nessie there, right? Get your Nessie on. Get your freaky Nessie on. So, let's go back, see what people say here. We've got Dark Wolf's Den. I've studied cryptids, for many years, and Nessie was my first. She will always be real in my book. I think there's something there. I don't know what it is. Growing up by the loch, it's one of the most beautiful, most scenic, also at the same time highly dangerous and highly mysterious places as well. I know a lot of people that have gone out onto the loch and not a lot of people, that's a lie. I know a couple of people that have gone out onto the loch and never returned. It's a dangerous place for as much as we talk about the woo and everything else. Rumoured some bits of it, you can't get to the bottom. Never seen them. And then you've got the caves on each side as well. Who knows where they lead to. And although I haven't seen it, my mum and my stepdad, they've seen something, and they can't tell you what it was. Wasn't your typical humpbacked, long-necked thing that you see in some of the photographs. It wasn't that. Mm-mm. It was more like, see when you get a whale under the water? The thing they seen, it caused a wake on the top of the water and they were looking down on it. But because it's like single, like lane traffic, well, not single lane, there's nowhere to pull in for like a couple of miles at a time. By the time they pulled in, gone. So, who knows? Another family member, they seen something at some point as well. I don't know. Lots of people claim to have seen things. I don't know. I don't discount them all. And even though you haven't seen it, like myself, I certainly don't think there's nothing there. And that doesn't mean that there's something there either. I keep a really open mind on it. Pollination says he fed Nessie cookies. I hope they were weed cookies. I hope they were really good. And if you've got any weed cookies kicking around, folks, please send some up to Glasgow. And folks, before I forget, I've not even said, remember, you can super chat, you can PayPal, you can support the stream in many, many ways. 2 more, that's 4, right? 2 more members is all we need before we get Anne's shoe launched at people. Yeah, we can launch it in the chat room. You can have your very own Anne's shoe. And I can tell you, it's not a smelly shoe. It's a solid shoe, but not a smelly shoe. Armand Adams says, oh, hang on, Lothar, Loch Ness Monster, she's sleeping in her bed right now. I'm not waking up the wife. Brilliant. I tell you, you're getting the shoe if she hears you saying that, dude. Turn that down a wee bit again. Or is it all right, folks? I don't know, it might be a bit loud. Turn it down a wee bit. And Armand Adams. Interdimensional. Or interdenominational. See, that was my word, seeing inter-D. And because we're talking Nessie, I just assumed that you meant interdimensional. I apologise. So I like that. Michael Healy, fakery, not real. I would see, Michael, I would agree that most of the photographs and most of the evidence that we've seen over the years, I think that's faked, a lot of it. But does that mean that there's nothing there? Who knows? Who knows? British reactor, military? Who knows? You know, psyops everywhere. Wouldn't bloody surprise me. It would surprise me, actually. Where else are we? Ho, ho, ho. Wait a minute. I've lost my place. Damn. Scroll. I've got it again. I've got it. See? I'm getting better at this. I used to be terrible with the chat. Matt says Nessie has never tried Jaffa cakes. Maybe we can coax him or her out of hiding with a packet of tangy, spongy goodness. You see, Matt, I like you. You were very inclusive there when it came to Nessie. You didn't want to judge gender. You didn't want to assign a he or a she to it. Maybe they identify as a they, it. You never know, right? We're inclusive on here. It's just the pizza community that isn't inclusive. They want to have their own days, you know, pizza one day, anchovy the next. Terrible, man. Terrible. Discrimination in the pizza world. My friend asked me why I call my pet Newt Tiny. Because he's my Newt, I told him. Brasney. Why am I even laughing at that? That shouldn't be funny. Armand. If Nessie took Jaffa cakes, I'd kick it. Kick its head in. King Sweet. King Sweet, can I speak to you just for a second? I found you on the banned list as well, dude. Can I apologise to you, King? Because I spoke to some of the mods yesterday and none of us could work out why that you had ended up on the banned list. So, King, please accept my humble apology for that. And please understand it was an oversight. It was a mistake. I seen you on the list when I was looking for Jonathan Fuller. And I apologise, dude, because you know I love to banter with you. You're somebody that I really like seeing, coming along, listening and things. Apologies for that, man, okay? But you're still a sick man. You love that reptilian queen. You're sick, dude. But in a good way. A really good way. Hot God, we need a film. Nessie versus Godzilla. How cool would that be? You know, the way Marvel's going, maybe they'll have to do that, right? Only if they do a woke version, though. It'll probably be a hey, Nessie, you know? I'm sorry, I had to. Okay, so we've got a Scotsman snorkeling after haggis and neeps. It could very well be. Chris Tanner says it's nearly 4:20 here, Kev. Everybody loves 4:20, Chris. Everybody. These kids, and Brassnick says, these kids that keep throwing Chinese dumplings at people, It's just wanton abuse. I agree. There's a problem with Chinese things, Chinese dumplings getting lobbed at people. We need to start a petition because petitions change the world, right? They're not even worth. Used to be petitions weren't worth the paper they were written on. Now they're not worth the pixels that you print them in. It truly isn't. Pollination Army, me too. WTF, huge animal like that needs to steal Jaffas. If that animal wants my Jaffas, it can have it. Fred Doe must be real. I saw a picture of him on the internet. That case closed. You see? That's why I love you, Fred. I absolutely love you, man. Brassneck felt uncomfortable driving to the cemetery. The GPS blurted out, you've reached your final destination. We've got some comedians in here today, Annie. Proper comedians. I love it. We have got Audio Lover, and I think this is tying in with my personal idea about Nessie. Says, I think the plesiosaurs from Antarctica use underground tunnel systems like in the new Godzilla film. And is there a new Godzilla film out? I'm going to check that out. But it's funny you mentioned tunnels, because we've got tunnels in Scotland that reach all the way from here, right across Europe to Turkey. And as I did mention to you there, under the loch, below water level, there's inlets, there's caves, and nobody knows where they go. Who knows? That's why I keep an open mind as to could there be some giant monster lurking beneath the waters of Loch Ness. So it says here, did I lose my place again? No, I found it again. Sharon, big welcome to Sharon. I don't think I've seen your name in there before. I love when we get new people in here. We have an Ogopogo in British Columbia, or too many drunk Scotsmen in Canada. Are you in Canada, Sharon? Another Canadian? Fantastic. I think we've got another joke coming from Brassneck here. My friend has signed me up for a yoga class, but I didn't want to go. It will put me in a very difficult position. Oh my word. And I'm not saying oh my word as in that's bad. I like that. I love shit jokes. It's brilliant. Brassneck. No, you just had you, Brassneck. Pollination, he's loving Brassneck as well. Chris Tanner. It was Henry Butt, I think, who founded the Golden Dawn, whose grave is in Weston-super-Mare Cemetery. In the army with a guy from Weston-super-Mare. He had a funny accent. I can't even do it. I can't even pretend to do it. Brett Munson. I asked Nessie to call me, but she doesn't have thumbs. Boom, boom. Running Turtle. Some sort of dino. Yeah. Some remnant of like that age, I think. If there is anything there, or if there was. See, the thing was, you know, is it a family of them? Because if it's a family of them, you'd expect to see more, right? And then, wouldn't you expect to see at some point remains as well? And I don't know. This is why I keep my mind open on interdimensional, because it's almost as if it appears and disappears and then goes away for years. This has been happening for like over a century that we know. And you go back to the 5th century when Columba was here. I think it was the 5th, when they were spreading the Christian kind of doctrine, and he said there was a monster. St. Columba said there's a monster in these waters. And I get it, folks. You know, that was probably used as a scare tactic to turn to God and things like that. But where did he come up with that from randomly, you know? I don't know. It's weird. Back to the chat room. Says, weed cookies. Who wants them? Yes, please. I would love some of them. Lost my place this time. Absolutely. Damn. Yeah, I'm back. I've got it. So, was it good weed, said Brad Munson? A lot of weed smokers in here. Terrible. Bought a pair of shoes with memory foam. No more forgetting why I walked to the kitchen. Damn, Brassneck, you are on fire today. Hod God, I went to see one animal in the zoo. It was a shit zoo. Dude, you just made Anne laugh. I struggled to do that, man. Hats off. Dark Wolf's Den. So who wants to be George Bush and have their first shoe thrown? You see, that's the way I feel sometimes in here, guys. You see the wake but miss the heifer that jumped off the boat into the water to cause she dropped a cookie. Then we've got British Reactor. You see, British Reactor, we're cool again. You see, RNLI warns conspiracy theorists to stay away from Loch Ness. See, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory when it comes to like the monster. I don't think maybe there is a couple of people who've got together in secret to further their own agenda, by pulling off the whole Nessie scam. I don't know. We have, it's always been my ambition to be filthy, stinking rich. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Polynation said, send me some weed. Flippin' tunes. I think that's it. We know it was Johnny. We found his sarnies. Then we have Brassneck again. A boat was crossing the Atlantic with a cargo of artificial limbs. Suddenly it was hit by a storm and sank. All hands were lost. Matt Buddy, you're a legend, Kev. No, you're a legend. Everyone's a legend. We're all uniquely brilliant, man. Everyone is. Even people that you might not initially get along with, they've got things that make them uniquely special as well. You know me. I like to get along. Brass, you're stealing from Stephen, right? Come down again. Let's see what else we got here. Trying to save time now. Kev, I remember seeing your face from a thumbnail in this live stream years ago on YouTube or something. John Smith. Maybe, dude. I've been on YouTube for absolutely years, brother. Years. I've had a couple of channels that came and went before the algorithm fun that we have now. And then started this channel. Ended up being invited onto Chris and Cherie's Truth Frequency Radio. And here we are today, I'll still be doing this probably for as long as I keep going. But Brett Munson, oh great. Then we'd have Godzilla humping Nessie. Oh, not so good. Stimulate. No. Okay, I'm lost a bit. But Harriet Botang, I like the name. Do you think other civilizations live inside the Earth? Do you think what the Lord of the Rings, do you think that's what the Lord of the Rings in the Middle Earth was alluding to? With the Earth being so cavernous and porous, I'm open to things living inside the Earth. I don't know if I go for the full Hollow Earth thing. I like that story, and I've had Dr. Brooks Agnew on the show before talking about that. I think that holds a lot more weight than the flat Earth, but that's just me personally. But is there things in the Earth? I don't know. Could be. Lord of the Rings. See, when you actually start to look at that, there's a lot of politics. It's actually like a metaphor, I think it's a metaphor, an analogy. I don't know what you call it. I'm not that brainy, but there's it's painting a picture of political stuff going on in the world as well. You can look into that. Lord of the Rings is fascinating. I love all that stuff, but maybe, Harry, I can't rule it out. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to tell you no, because I don't know, and it could very well be. They hide things in plain sight all the time, so I'm not going to rule that out. Absolutely not. We have audio lovers saying these people that believe dinos were half animal, half angel, that could explain the supernatural aspect. Why not? Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth, Hollow Earth makes sense. Yeah, like I say, I've definitely got time to listen to people that talk about Hollow Earth and things. I find it really interesting. First time I heard it, I was like, wow, never even thought of that. So I don't know. Like I say, you're not going to get me rubbishing you here. Honestly, you're not. Those tunnels are really interesting going under the sea from Europe to Scotland. That would be an interesting bit for your show. Neil, I've covered it before, but never in any great depth. But I'll write it down. Tunnels under Scotland. Because in the end of the day, folks, the show's for all of you. Yeah, I'm at the mic, but I want to keep you with things that interest you. That's what it's all about. Mr. Stonley, same as Sasquatch. Right, Armand, he's in the chat room. He sent me a link to the Mothman prophecies. I've spoke about the Mothman many a time. But that book by John Peel, I never had any clue just how good that book is and just how much information's in there. And what if the Sasquatch, the Nessie, aliens, Slender Man, shadow people, UFOs, all of the things that make you go ooh, make you go woo and bump in the night, that kind of thing. What if they're all the same thing, but we just interpret them differently due to our own minds and due to the time period we're living in and the circumstances that we experience them in? What if it's all the same thing? What if it's all just some different frequency, some different vibration, something from just outside our realm, or maybe something that lives all amongst us all of the time that we interpret differently at different times in history? Kev got deep for a minute there. But that's thanks to Armand. He sent me a copy of that audio book. Very, very interesting. We keep coming. Same as no proof can be found. No, there's definitely no proof. No proof of Nessie. No proof of Sasquatch. So it does make you wonder. Again, I still keep an open mind. King Sweet, he's in there. What's he saying? King, I almost lost you there, dude. Pre-flood people lived for hundreds of years. Nessie is a remnant from that time. No doubt dinos lived for hundreds of years also. Brett Munson, eater horse is a word. Example, Jenny went to France for some riding, but they wanted to eat her horse. See? I have no idea where that came from. Lothar, why do Scots make better lovers than Germans? Because Scots are the only ones who can stay on top for 45 minutes and still come second. Oh, my word. Risky. Armand, those waters are beautiful but unforgiving if you're still enough to take a dip. Harriet says to King Sweet, the oxygen content and the food was better. Also, pre-flood people were genetically superior. Great point. Marquis, realistically, Nessie is probably, a whale or a fish or just a big fish or Hillary Clinton in her true form. I don't know. My money's on Hillary's kids playing around. Brilliant. Could be a big sturgeon. Absolutely. Could just be a fish. Could be a species of animal that we don't know about. I'm open to that. Fred Doe says, cream pie, the Lake Champlain in Vermont. Yes, that's Champ, right? Or Champy, whatever way you want to pronounce it. We've got perhaps dimensional entities able to come and go from this dimension, says Mr. Stonley. Very likely. Champ is a subject of conversation here in the States. I have family and friends in Vermont. Big hello to Paul down in Newcastle. Absolutely lovely part of the world down there. We've got Macbeth is one such play that was about the royal family. We're scrolling down now. Do you think artificial intelligence live among us masquerading as humans, says Harriet. I don't. But that doesn't mean that I'm right. It could very well do. But I don't at the moment. Will it in the future? I think so. I do think so. And I think some humans, probably some people that are alive today, right now, maybe you know them, will at some point opt to take the neural lace. They'll opt to be in a symbiotic relationship with artificial intelligence. So, but again, Harriet, just because I don't think it doesn't mean it's not right. That's just my opinion. Slenderman creeps me out, says Half Q, you and me both. Hit that sub and the like button. Please do, folks. Please do. And if you want to support me and the stream, there's links in the description for PayPal. There's a membership button. There's also, you can join the channel. And we need 2 more people. Just 2 more. And we unlock the next emoji. Yes, we do. And myself and Nancy were thinking of ways last night how we could, like, do things away from YouTube as well. Other platforms, other messenger services, stuff like that, where we can all hang out, where there's no algorithms and everyone has a mic. Not just me. It's not about me. It's about all of us, okay? So we are thinking about other things, you know, trying to build other things up. Maybe Discord might be a way for us all to go. We'll have a KBS Wookiee Cave, something like that. So Chris Tanner says, Roald Dahl is from Western Supermare, along with John Cleese, one of the funniest guys in the world. And Running Turtle says, I saw Baloo the bear dancing down the street in Mississippi when I was on mushrooms one time back in the day. Real life as could be with a ghetto blaster on his shoulder. See, when I used to take like mushrooms and things, I never got to see anything like that. I got the trails and things like that. But it's amazing to me, says Neil Bowie, and I'm sure it would be to many others, the fact that they are still there after thousands of years, good architects. Yeah, it would appear like we've lost something over the years. We might be highly technologically advanced right now, technology in its current kind of form. I still don't think, or I suspect, that we're nowhere near the intelligence and the capabilities and the technology that ancient people had. That sounds weird because, come up, Kev, we've never dug up any ancient technology, right? But I think they were harnessing natural energies. You look at Nikola Tesla. I think Nikola Tesla was like a throwback to those ancient times. My own personal thoughts. People are saying half Q. People are saying half Q. Half Q saying Discord. It might be a good idea. Absolutely. Dark Wolf in Idaho a few days ago, there were artifacts dug up that puts people on the American continent 16,600 years ago. That puts mankind with the mastodons and saber-tooths. Dark Wolf, check out America Before by Graham Hancock. What if I was to tell you it goes back way further than that, possibly? And I'm going to check that out, dude, because that's interesting, okay? Lothar says, is there artificial intelligence with us here on Earth? Yes, we are. Armand D Live needs Kev. I used to simulcast to both, Armand. Like when PewDie went over to D Live and Uni was going over there as well. Honestly, myself and Scott would watch the D Live. We would get no viewers. Nothing. So maybe I'll start it again. Maybe, I don't know. Dead GPK has sneaked into the chat room. He's been running around all day doing errands. And we also have Lothar. Why wasn't Jesus born in Scotland? He couldn't find 3 wise men or a virgin. Boom, boom. We like that. I thought it was an almond grove on shrooms. Hey, how do we get Kev on the Rogan podcast? Come on, dude. I'm nowhere near Rogan, man. I'm nowhere near like the kind of guest Rogan gets on. I'm flattered you think that, but dude, I'm just a normal guy. I've got nothing really, no specific topic. Me and Joe would just sit there and get like smashed. Would be sitting smoking weed and drinking whiskey for 2 hours. I bet they'd have a blast puffing on the best herbs and conversing for 3 hours. Sea running turtle, me and you are on the same page, dude. Fred Doe, do you think there's any form of intelligence on Earth? I think we're intelligent-ish. Compared to what, though, right? Dark Wolf's doing awesome. Polly says, agreed, Kev. I don't know what that was to. Kristen says, sorry, it's been a crazy morning here. I'm prioritising, not multitasking. Kristen, that's perfect. Don't you worry about that. We lost our knowledge, says Polly. Harriet says, do you think high-level witches and warlocks do rituals to keep this civilization the way it is? I definitely think there's warlocks, witches, wizards. Absolutely. Yep. People can laugh at me if they want. I don't care, but I do think there is stuff like that. Somebody mentions flat Earth. We don't do flat Earth here, folks. I don't do it anyway. We have Graham Hancock was arguing 1150 to 12,000 years ago. I used to follow his work a lot. I'm sure he takes it dark. I might be wrong, Dark Wolf's Den, but I'm sure in that America Before, he talks about even further back than that. And again, I might be wrong, but check it out. Jeanette says, I joined Discord, but just see all gamers. I guess it takes time. That of which I don't have. Well, Jeanette, bear with me. Bear with me, because I have a Discord server set up. I just need to find a way of getting all you great people in there without inviting all of the arseholes. Do you know what I mean? And I don't mean you, Jeanette, obviously. And I don't mean anyone in here today. But there's people out there you don't want in your Discord. Kristen says, no to D Live, my least favourite platform. Periscope's good, yeah. Rogan is a shill. Whatever. Rogan. Listen, this is such an easy thing for internet people to say. This one's a shill, that one's a shill. Who's he shilling for? Who's Joe Rogan shilling for? Because I see him as doing a splendid job giving people things to think about. And if you don't like Joe, you can always not watch. That's okay. I don't think he's shilling, though. I really don't. Scowling Wolf, Wee Witches are alive and kicking. Polynation, Hancock is definitely onto something. Brett Munson, there's a lot of pre-colonial history that has been hidden from us here in the States. You better believe it. Why are Scottish and Irish people so friendly to everyone, yet English people seem aloof? Harriet, that might be a bit of a misconception. I know where you're coming from, but as somebody that lived in England for a few years, the English people are just the same as everyone else. You're going to get idiots anywhere you go. There's people in Scotland that aren't like true Scottish people. You would think, well, that wasn't like what I thought Scottish people were like. But, there's good and bad people everywhere. There really is. It's all about how people treat others. That's what it's about. Mr. Stoneley, I'm a wizard. That's not the first time he said that. Talk to me about Discord. I've got a guy who will help you out, says Kristen. It looks like we're doing good there. You're right, Kev. I married a witch. I had a witch on my show a couple of weeks ago. Tia, the TV psychic. So, yeah. Listen, folks, we're out of time. I've gone over 2 hours today. We've definitely demonetized the stream, that's for sure. But I'll be back tonight, and I won't be simulcasting tonight, folks, okay? Because when I have Brendan on, I have to really concentrate because we get deep into science, but it will be up on YouTube after the TFR show. And if you want to tune into the show, we'll be at tfrlive.com/chat. I apologize about not simulcasting today, but it's one of these shows where I really need to be on my toes. I need to be paying attention all the time. And when I'm on the stream, as you can see, I like hanging out with the chat room, right? I like speaking with you people. And if I've got a guest on when that's happening, it can all go horribly wrong. And when I have guests coming on that put so much time into like putting subjects together for the show, I think the very least that I can do is give them all of my attention as well. So, from time to time, I'll be simulcasting, not all the time, but time to time, and every day I'll be here. So, what else we got happening in here? Thank you. No spam in the chat. Good shout. 2 more comments or so before we go. Let's see. I'll scroll up a little bit. Tony Phillips. I think Kev should get Charlie Brooker on, and maybe he might make an episode of Black Mirror with him in a simulation. Charlie Brooker would be a great guest, dude. I want to tell you who I've got lining up for the show. I so want to tell you. But I can't tell you yet because it's not been confirmed. You're going to love it. You really are going to love it, folks. Look at me. I'm squirming in my chair thinking about it. We're going to raise the bar on KBS very soon. We're going to go to another level of like information, guests, names that you're definitely going to know, okay? Trust me on this one. I'm striving. I'm working hard behind the scenes to get new people in, and we're that close on a couple. And trust me, this is going to absolutely blow people's minds. Valley says, I give the best intros for my guests. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Valley. I think it's the very least I can do. If somebody gives up their time to come on the show, then the very least I can do is pay them the respect that they're due. It's obviously somebody I respect in the first place because I've invited them onto the show. And I'm not the kind of guy that does like ambush or hijack journalism podcasts. That's not my gig. I know some people like that stuff. That's not me. I like to give people a voice, give people a platform. And remember, I provide, you decide. I let all of you make your own mind up. But I think it's the very least. It's like just basic manners, just to have a conversation and be nice and listen to people. Listen to what they've got to say, even if it does go against what maybe I believe myself. And maybe I think that's why we're having the semi-success that we're having. We're no big show. I don't want to be a big, huge, massive show. I just want to be the best version of the Kev Baker show that myself and all of you can get. And that way, well, look what we've got going on here, right? You don't think I would be here taking 2 hours out of my day, most days, to speak with all of you if I honestly didn't appreciate you and respect you. And without you, all of you out there, every one of you, I mean it, even like British Reactor or whoever we had a wee argument with earlier on, if it wasn't for you guys and girls and everyone else out there, then what would be the point of me doing this? None whatsoever. So let that be my last word of the day. And remember, keep it real. Keep your mind open, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo and starts running down your ears. Remember to join me later on tonight, folks. Going to be joined by astrophysicist Mr. Brendan Drackler from the Rochester Institute of Technology. Climate, space, goo on the moon, whole lot more. Till then, catch you later, right?